Singing this song, I see I was wrong. To chain you down, I was the clown. I'm singing this song, I see I was wrong. To chain you down, I was the clown. I know now what you're all about. I've had the time to run out. I pray for the touch of your hand. Your love is so, so grand, oh baby.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Crypto Talk Now Network station. This is Max, and I'm doing a live video today on QNT. So I hope everyone's doing great in this great world. Let's start things off with this, and that is recognizing our community. We have the first comment of the day. It's going to come from who? It's going to come from what? It's going to come from a super chat. I'm not going to make it late. We're going to do that one first. Henry Brown with a $2 super chat. I think somebody got that. You win absolutely nothing. Yeah. Yeah, somebody was smart enough to recognize that. Moving along. All right. Didn't think anybody would figure that out, but somebody did. Congratulations. All right. So let's see here. We got Tim Shea says, hey, thank you, Mr. Tim Shea, Mayor of Crypto, who says, hey, glad to have you. Crypto Commissioner representing the 589th XRP Army. Thank you for your ongoing support, Mr. Tim Shea. I hope everybody's having a great Friday. We're going to wait for a few more people, obviously, to filter in. Please smash that like. We're at 12 likes. It's 17 people. Not too bad. Probably going to be, who knows, a little bit low on attendance. Even yesterday, I thought, I don't know. But, I checked out the stats. I think we peaked out at 47. It's what comes with the territory when it comes to fear in the market, right? Right. All right. We also got XXI Gaming. He's in the house. He says, Max, you got Ice Cube on the thumbnail. It's crazy. Yes. And going further down, I almost said Michael Montclair. Patrick Collier, excuse me. Glad to have you here, Patrick. It says, as the world turns, I spread like germ. Bless the globe with the pestilence. The hard-headed never learn. It's my testament to those burned. Play my position in the game of life. Standing firm. With the blood clot, you don't want to smoke too much pot, because if you think twice, you think not. Mr. Iron Lung, tell you where it's coming from. Guns of Navarone, tearing up your battle zone. Yeah, I remember all those old songs, my friend. Shout out to you. Thank you for being here. All right, let's go further down. We got, let's see here. Brittany is in the house. She wants to look at you like that, but it's okay. Glad to have you, Ms. Brittany. All right. And actually, is that a new one on the side? Let me see. No, the same one. I had to look at it again. Can you imagine if I did the whole show like this, Hello, everybody. As with you always, this is Max doing a sideways talk presentation on XRP. Anyway, thank you so much for being here, Brittany. We do always appreciate you. And you know what? Happy weekend to you and everybody else. All right. We're also going to get further into some more comments. We have Selma Floyd says, what up, Crypto Talk Now with Max and guest? Nope. Jerry Heller passed away 1 year after Straight Outta Compton movie came out. And his lawyer tried to blame it on the stress of how he's depicted in the movie. But thank you, though. That's a little subliminal message in the thumbnail. Anyway, thank you, Mr. Selmo Fudd. Also going to welcome FOMO Sapien. Ice Cube is like 19 in that photo. Awesome. Yeah. Old school Ice Cube, right? I want to state this, okay? And this is not going to ruin the movie. But if you're a fan of the show called Snowfall, which finished its last season this year, there is a nice little Easter egg. I don't know if it's on the very last episode. It doesn't ruin the movie. that references John Singleton's, the late great John Singleton's Boys in the Hood, at the same time as the show is going on. I thought that was a great reference. I paid homage to him. Anyway, I always catch all the little tidbits. All right, Alien Form Raj. Hello everyone. Glad to have you here, Alien Form. I thought I recognized you. The artist formerly known as Shinobi. Oh, hey man, welcome back. We don't hold it against you or anything. The whole thing with Shinobi. Welcome though, man, and glad that you feel as though you can still return here and so on. So it is what it is, Shoot, man, we made mistakes even on this channel in the early days, did we not? Right? Saitama, we didn't delete all that. We didn't try to hide from, that. We grow. Who's perfect? Nobody is. But nonetheless, glad to have you back, man. I actually was wondering about you. Always feel like you can have feel welcome here. That's the main thing. Okay. So guys, welcome back. Raj, now known as Alien Form Raj. Boom. All right. My Shinobi V2 might not be worth that much, but I'm not going to blame you for it. You know what I mean? All right. Let's go further down. Thank you again for the $2 super chat from Henry Brown. Corey B-Bay is in the house. Happy Friday, y'all. I hope everyone has a great weekend. Thanks for all you do, Max. You are appreciated. Well, thanks. It is nice to be appreciated, especially from the community. Really appreciate that. All right. Boomer F and Sooner is here. Did I say that casually? Shame on me. Are you on the couch, Boomer? Is your dog with you on the couch? Because I've seen pics, my friend. Right? So let's do it right. Let's welcome the one, the only, Mr. Drum roll, please. Boomer F and Sooner. That's right. Somebody's going to be listening to the live stream, and it's going to replay at some point. And you're going to hear other live streams, whether you're Brian Dowie, passed out from, I don't know, drinking too much PBR or whatever the heck you drink, or you're Selmo Thud drinking too much Modelios you drink. That's a good one. I like that one. I don't like many beers, but I like that one. Whatever the case be, somebody's going to have the auto replay on. You're going to hear Boomer F and Sooner. All right, we're going to welcome a few more of you guys. We promise to kick it into our outline. Please smash the like. We're currently at 22 likes. 30 people here. Maybe we could tick into the 40s. I don't know. It's kind of a funky thing when it comes to the fear in the market. All right, Mr. Boomer F and Sooner, right on time. Back from my second shopping trip at TJ Maxx today. TJ Maxx has great deals. Glad to see you shop there. What's another one that has great deals? Marshall's back in the day, right? I don't know if there's any more Marshalls around. Could be. There's Marshalls, TJ Maxx. There's Burlington Coat Factory. I don't know if you guys got Burlington Coat Factories out where you're at, but anyway. All right, let's see here. Brian Riley is back. He says, happy Friday, Max and gang. Let's see if I can do it. No, I cannot. Can almost do it. The real Ice Cube could do it. I don't know. Is the real Ice Cube a fan of Star Trek? Who knows? All right, let's also welcome Elon Muff. Mike Cornwell says Wen Moon. Whenever I see Wen Moon, I immediately think of Ahmed. Shout out to Ahmed because he always says Wen Moon, especially when it comes to Stellar. Let's wish our fellow brother Ahmed from overseas. Hopefully he's doing well. I miss Ahmed. Where's Ahmed? All right. We're going to go further down. Welcome a few more of you guys. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. I saw somebody said, MM. Maybe that's Michael Montclair. I don't know. Welcome to MM if he's here tonight. That's right. We're praying for Mr. MM, Michael Montclair. He's got COVID for crying out loud. Man, that's, guys, best wishes to him for sure. Get well soon, Michael Montclair, if you're listening. All right. Humpty is in the house. He says, yo, 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 what's up, fam? And like Ice Cube would say, yeah. Yeah, he does say that, doesn't he? Queen Perseverance, Sonia. Been a long time since I've seen you. She said, hey, Max, hope all is well. Thank you, Sonia, for being here. Welcome to the Queen. Shout out to you and your hubby, Mr. Waddy. Waddy Dotty, we likes to potty. We do CTN research, but we don't share it with everybody. Anyway, yeah, we do share it with everybody. What am I talking about? All right, just a couple more, and I promise we'll get into it. April Cornwell's got a new avatar. Let's see what it looks like. It's a nice look. What you got there? Hold on a second. You got a pink Trump hat, I think. It's a reflection. Okay, well, welcome. Looks good. Looks good. She says, does she say hey, hey, hey? Yes. Hey, hey, hey. Thank you so much, Ms. April Cornwell. And we got OG Crypto in the house. I'm going to rapid fire through some of these. We got Le Grand Commission. Oui, merci beaucoup. All right, Senior. Jimmy Chonga is back in the house. AZ Marine Sniper is also here. Ahmed, there he is. There you are, buddy. Right on, man. Ahmed is in the house. OG Crypto, Mr. Gangsta. Alan Forum Raj. I will read this. Due to former CEO Cliff's scamming of Shinobi's Shinja, the community decided to shut it down. Like Onyx. Shut it down. Shut it down. What? All right. And relaunch a new project name revealed today as Alien Form. Okay. I get where you're coming from. I hope it ends up being fine, but yeah. I'll have to find out what goes on with that. Will I be able to use my Shinja V2 and go to Alien Form? I guess you can answer that in the comments. All right. Sammy from Alabama's back. Doja Mars, any good news coming out? Anybody know? I wouldn't know, but maybe our community would know. Achman, say Tom, oh damn it. I'm still holding it too. I'm holding it to the kingdom come. All right. Yeah, I know Cliff no longer works there. Alien Form launch probably October. Huh. All right. What else we got up in here? Magic Power is back. Hello, guten Tag, Sie Liechtenstein Exchange. Just me with the rice consortium in the house. Wait. All right. All right, that's good stuff. Double checking the other screen. We're good. We're good. I think I read most of you guys' comments and stuff like that. But it's all good. We're gonna jump into, man, I'm telling you something else, right? I love this guy. All right. Who is this guy? Well, first of all, we're gonna jump into Jasmine coverage. So this guy rocks. He absolutely rocks. If you're not following Neo X Tricks, well, I don't know what you're doing. All right. This guy brings the deep dive research. And then, of course, if anything, I try to give my own take based off of, put an outline for it. This is good stuff because, as you guys know, right, I'm a school teacher. I might have signed up for the calendar year this year, but nonetheless, I always teach. So if I'm not teaching this calendar year, I'm with you guys, where the case be. This is right up my alley, right? I want to share this with you, the community, and so on. So please smash that like for some Jasmine coverage. Let's see how we're doing on likes just real quick before we get more into this. We're at 27 likes. Again, guys, please smash the like. We're at 34 people currently watching. We should probably tick up here soon. So I want to get into this, okay? And Neo X Tricks, you can follow him at Bina A17. Again, give him a follow. He definitely deserves it. He only has, he's been ticking up. That's good. And last I checked, he was at like 200 followers. So he's really, really grown. That's awesome. Anyway, let's get into the coverage. Here's the outline. So he says, here's what Kazumasa Sato, CEO of Jasmine, thinks about Jasmine and national education in the future. You can read the entire interview if you choose to do so. We'll bring you that link here in a second. It does show Sato all over it, right? But there's some highlights here, okay? And if anything, we're going to get into all this stuff. So I'm not going to read all of this right here because I just want to get right into the thread. So in this thread, okay, and it's really, really something, it's basically this right here is from dot.asahi.com. And it goes into this whole big whopper of detail in regards to the democratization of data, right? To be expected, right? But this right here talks about, for instance, a different use case that you may have thought was speculative, but it has been confirmed, okay? Check this out. Kimura. In the old days, not only my parents, but also my neighbors would watch over me in the park. Right. Think about like, oh man, maybe you guys are old enough. There's some of you guys are like, you know, very, very old school Gen X. I don't mean that like in a bad way. Or I don't know, maybe some of you guys are older than that. Maybe you're like literally from, the baby boomer generation boom, if you will. And you could literally remember a time, and I've heard about this, but I never experienced it. Parents wouldn't have to worry about watching their kids in the park. And then, of course, we know that there was like kidnappings and stuff like that. And then it scared the hell out of all parents, and they're just obsessed with it, and rightfully so. I got to watch my kid because somebody could steal my kid. And it's a sad, sad thing. Fast forward to the modern day where we're at, right? I haven't had a chance to see, that new movie with Jim Caviezel and so on, Sound of Freedom. I heard nothing but great things about it. But like, that's a perfect representation of like, some bad people in this world that would use kids for what. And it's just, to me, that's the most evil thing there is. But anyway, check this out. So yeah, will tech make it possible so basically we don't have to worry as much? Now, I want to state this. Some of you guys don't like the idea of like 15-minute cities. I don't. But I do feel as though that all this technology where CBDCs and so on can be used for good, could use for bad, depending on who's using it. When we get more into this outline, if anything, I like what's mentioned, especially as a school teacher, because as you have one side of politics who says we need to ban all guns, and you have another side that says no, man, let's protect, my rights, right? Right to bear arms and so on. Shall not be infringed means one thing, right? And what you think it means another, the other side. So there's always been this back and forth thing in regards to it, and nobody really has a real solid answer. There's a lot of TikTok people, whether you're on the left, the right, in the middle, and so on. But when we get more into this idea of being able to, track the whereabouts of your kid and so on, or your students and so on, is, I think, a good thing to a sense, because if anything, we talk about the Internet of Things, like what they're trying to accomplish over in Japan with Society 5.0, and we'll mention Society 5.0 here in a bit. But all this traceable and trackable devices and so on, being able to see threats far away. If you guys ever seen like, was it like Minority Report and stuff like that? I mean, that thing seems really far out. That's like science fiction, but part of that actually isn't. Answer into this. Basically speaking, nobody likes the idea of like massive mass killing at schools or any of that stuff with these crazy shooters. But to be able to have something which you can identify before they even get close to these schools, like this guy's never been on our campus before, instantly be able to scan who that person is, and then on blockchain. Listen to this, guys. This is really big, especially if you're a Jasmine holder. On blockchain, be able to verify instantaneously, like who the heck this guy is, and again, he's never been here and so on. Attack the target before he does something crazy. That's game changer stuff. Instead of, taking rights away from people who shouldn't, have the rights taken away from, shouldn't we just attack evil from the root before it happens? Call it far-fetched, but that's the way I look at it. And I have taught at the schools, and I had to do the whole thing of, all right, guys, we got to do these drills and stuff like that. When I was a kid, we didn't have those drills. We have fire drills. But now kids at schools have these darn drills where they have to prepare for some of this stuff. And then I have to end up getting on a kid's case like, look, sorry to say, but you're actually going to get detention because you wouldn't shut the heck up during this drill. And congratulations, you're dead because you were laughing when a potential shooter could have been up in here. I mean, we have to take it really seriously, right? And of course, Mr. Stanley's being what? Well, hey, sometimes I got to be like that if it means for you to take it a little more serious. Whatever the case be, Look at this. So, yes, Sato says that there will be this whole technology and it's going to be possible, right? He mentions that some of the features of blockchain, of course, is traceable. And basically, even if they are usually anonymous, deviant statements can be tracked down to the source. Again, like I was talking about earlier, some of these threats, especially to the schools. This is also called semi-anonymous. For example, when a child accesses a community, the user's identity is authenticated by the blockchain and is usually anonymous, allowing them to interact while adjusting information they publish. Now, I'm not going to get into every little part of this, but on the interview, this person named Kimura, says specifically, even in the real world, you can show how much information you give out depending on who you're talking to. In the world of the internet, he was worried that once his personal information was disclosed, it would spread and basically speaking, he would be exposed all the time. But it is convenient and safe to be able to control his own personal information. Sato responds back with, the system or this system can also be applied to consultations on children's concerns. Children today, say that chatting is easier than talking on the phone. Right. In some cases it is. Some of these kids, and I experienced this, myself, right? Where you have kids that just don't even know how to properly talk to people, like especially in this modern age. It sounds sad, but it's a reality. A lot of kids during Gen Z, I guess that's what we call it now. It's the real life interactions, but they're more comfortable with, like a chat box. Say what you want, it's the reality. It says, therefore, consultations are accepted anonymously in chat, and there is an urgent event, or if there's an urgent event, the person can be identified by blockchain with permission. Again, like I was just literally talking about. Goes on to mention some of this stuff. But anyway, grade management and the possibility of changing educational methods by yourself. So this guy Kimura says, like, for instance, like, what about school? And this is where I want to introduce this key thing to you, which is referred to as Giga School concept. And it says, I think teachers are also having a time with Giga School concept. Now, this was something that I guess you could say start off in Japan, but there's even a U.S. connection. I'm going to jump into all this. It's good stuff to pay attention to. And I would say that there's going to be some juicy stuff that you're not even aware of when it comes to an extra utility layer that you may have overthought or you thought of was speculative, right? We're going to confirm some of that speculation here in a bit. Basically, can blockchain tech be used to manage children's information? That is the key takeaway here. And I want to get into some of Sato's comments to break it down and make it more sense, like a little bit more sense for you guys. And so we have other coverage tonight, but if anything, check this out. So Sato responds, by using your what? Personal data locker, that PDL service, children will be able to manage their own grades. Today, elementary, middle, high school, and university are separately managed by what? Paperwork. And there's so much freaking paperwork. I mean, I remember even working at my local college and so on. I mean, from admissions to each class and, the modules, just unbelievable amount of paperwork that could have been completely cut out if we would just had it all on, for instance, like a DLT solution. But you got to keep in mind, this was back in like 2013. Totally different world that we're in right now, right? Those are like the first years of Bitcoin, So it says it's easy to perform analysis such as by sharing with teachers how they have grown so far. He believes that the educational methods will also change. Now, this mutual aid society is born, like it says, with blockchain. And, there's a lot to be, get into here, but I want to jump down to this. And basically speaking, like this guy says, what if a child asks, like, what is blockchain? How should I explain it? Well, there's all sorts of things mentioned here, but he goes into deep, like his own deep dive, if you will, Sato. He talks about, autonomous decentralization, talks about democratization of data. He says, either there is no administrator in the middle, a program for each purpose is written on the blockchain and called a smart contract. What's one of the main topics that we've been talking about all week, whether it's Jasmine, Stellar, we've been talking about, Hedera, we've been talking about Casper, but at every single turn, we've been talking about smart contracts. So getting more into this, it says, until now, such mutual aid societies were mainly based on local units, but it's now possible to create them from distant countries. Blockchain makes that possible. So again, there's a lot that's mentioned here. I'm not going to get into all the bits and pieces about it, but it's pretty good. But the main thing I want you to take away from this was this right here, Giga School concept, and I decided to look more into it. So I'm going to take you more into this concept of Giga School program. And if anything, maybe even tie some XDC into it. Oh God, here's Max again. He first does, jazz me with quant, and now he's going to do XDC with quant. Hear me out on this. You're going to enjoy the deep dive tonight when it comes to Jasmine and XDC. So Japan's Giga School program equips students for digital society. I'm going to jump down to this. All right. So basically speaking, this was a series that gets more into this, but it says the government, as in the Japanese government, initially hammered out the Giga School program all the way back in 2018. Now, do I have anything that's new in regards to this year? Of course I do, but we're going to give you that outline. So it goes to mention that, back then in 2018, this was to ensure that they would have computers and high-speed internet, right? These students and so on. And that educators would have the techniques to teach pupils how to master digital tools and learn online. Now, GIGA, if you didn't understand what that meant, it basically stands for Global and Innovation Gateway for All. That was part of what? Look what it says. The push forward for Society 5.0. Now, you know where I'm going with this already. And it says incorporating cyberspace such as AI, big data, and Internet of Things. Everything you see right there is literally Jasmine all the way. As I always would say, like a fat kid on cake. Max, you are a fat kid on cake. Well, whatever. The Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science, and Tech originally targeted, and this is the good stuff, fully implementing GIGA program by the end of March 2024. Now, I want to state this before we get more into this outline, and that is you will see other projects boast or make claims that we're going to enter into the metaverse and we're going to bring an educational side to it. Well, say what you want, right? That's very speculative. And if anything, it's just kind of nice to say it. What about a project, especially Jasmine, who's really, really going to do it? And if anything, that is one of their main focuses for the metaverse. It's not necessarily just the video games and all that stuff, right? It's actually having a real, true online environment in the metaverse so kids feel as though they can have fun learning. They can be interactive, hence the chat boxes, where you want to call it, but they feel as though they could be themselves in this new learning environment. You may feel as though you don't agree with it over here in the United States, but what's one of the key things we've been learning for many months now when it comes to the concepts of Society 5.0, and especially with what Jasmine is trying to contribute to it? That is difference in the culture and what kind of value does it have. Just because it doesn't work here in your homeland, where you're in the US, Canada, or wherever you're at, doesn't mean it can't work on the opposite side of the world, the Far East. Now, in regards to this, it says basically the GIGA program's goal is to ensure that students in the Society 5.0 era, where information and communication tech, which is ICT, is part of daily lives and absolutely necessary, and absolutely necessary, will learn the needed skills and abilities to thrive, said who? Yuchi Aima, or I can't pronounce it right. Director of the Media Information and Foreign Language Education Division in the Education Ministry's Madison's grocery list, Elementary and Secondary Educational Bureau. Look at the quote he makes here. States, we want to ensure that nobody is left behind and that opportunities are equitable, tailored to individual needs, and enable creativity. Again, hence, for instance, metaverse and so on. That's supposed to be a very creative environment, but a different environment in which is all inclusive. Now, I'm going to go further down goes about this whole talk about one device per student. They're talking about how that wasn't the best choice, but nonetheless, it goes on to mention this right here. One factor behind was the dearth, which is like a different interpretation. I don't know if that's the real word, but anyway, this is Japanese to English, so bear with me. PCs for students in school education caused by tight local government budgets. It would also be resolved by providing computers for all students in a compulsory education by the start of the upcoming fiscal year. But anyway, 2/3 of the Gigas plan budget is allocated for PCs. Now, again, how do we tie this into everything? Think about it. It's not rocket science, everybody. So right now, as we speak, we know that we have, for instance, Jasmine secure blockchain PCs, right? And while we only have about 20,000 of these that were sold and so on, and they're not really technically plugged in and used and so on, what about the educational side of things? That isn't that big? Before we report to you guys the whole thing with Transcosmos, understanding that, having multiple data centers, like those contracts where, hey, we're going to use these Jasmine secure blockchain PCs or laptops at all these call centers. That's a big contract, okay? But now enter in the whole concept of what, right? The educational side of things. Because again, let's go back to it, where it says about 2/3 of the Gigas plan budget is allocated for PCs. That's big, because you understand that, for instance, Jasmine is tackling these areas. Now, of course, naysayers will say one thing, and naysayers will say all they want. They'll just look at the short term and so on. You got to keep in mind, just like all the other projects we cover, the X's, the Q&T, all that stuff, we got to get to the point where you have full implementation, but mass adoption. But what if, like I said before, since with data free flow with trust and the regulatory framework where Japan is embracing these technologies, again, they're the ones that do it before the rest of us and so on, right? So we talk about that utility run. A lot of people are still wondering who will be the first to start part of that. This is where I do go back to the whole concept of, what? Jasmine could be, simply because of where they're located geographically and where you have a whole different narrative on the society, no pun intended, that embraces all this technology. And if anything, what industries are involved with this. This is the educational side of things. And when I see that highlight right there, 2/3 of Giga's plan budget is allocated for PCs, I said to myself, oh my God, Jasmine secure PCs, 2/3 right there, that could be big. And even if they lowballed it, and like we're always lowballing Jasmine price of $1, at the next bull market. Again, this is one sector, okay, of many sectors for the Internet of Things that Jasmine is part of. Look at this. We're going to go further down into this. This, of course, is going to help teachers with their students on how to conduct online searches and use software for writing, put together presentations, so on and so forth, right? Again, there's a lot that's, basically mentioned here. This part's also good. All right, let's get into this. This person right here, has nothing to do with the Saitama you're thinking of. But it says Toda in Saitama Prefecture stands out for its early action. The city's policies, similar to the Giga program, involve distributing PCs to who? All students starting from 2016, ensuring internet access, including providing mobile routers to households without net access and training teachers. Now, this part is big, especially if you've been following the whole concept of Society 5.0 with us at CTN with our deep dives. Check out this quote. This is big. If you missed any other part, listen to this. Digitalization wasn't pursued before because of tight budgets and because blackboards, chalk, and handouts had been successfully as seen in international test scores. Why mess with it? Was the view, said Yuki Gawa, an official at the Toda Board of Education. Quote, we realize, however, to be able to raise children well-equipped to deal with Society 5.0 and an age where AI is at the forefront, that ICT skills were absolutely necessary. So teaching kids about some of these skills, understanding at some point they're going to probably learn about, let's face it, the new era that we're going to, blockchain, because how can you have society 5.0 and not understand distributed ledger technologies and so on? So the new generation of students are literally going to be learning all this stuff when it comes to, innovative blockchain solutions, DLT, all of that. So it's not like, we're going to teach these kids this and then, if anything, dismiss data democratization and all these goals we're, trying to achieve. No, it's literally going to be at the forefront. All right. I'm not going to talk your head off about all this stuff, but I do like this last statement from us. It says, for instance, the government will be able to more effectively implement the GIGA program nationwide. And like it says in the quote, at the ground level, he said, some strong examples are already being put into practice. Now, as we get more into this, and you're wondering specifically, like, does Max have anything more in regards to this? You better believe I do. And when I found out about it was in regards to, like, if you think about, like, well, you mentioned something about XDC. Yeah, absolutely. What I want to share with you guys is when I got more into this deep dive, it references the International Trade Administration, which is Japan's educational, like, technology opportunities and so on. There's a whole piece about this, and this is good stuff. So in this outline, to continue just a little bit and get to the good points that you need to pay attention to, we have been covering here at CTN, and a lot of other content creators to talk about as well, is the electronics trade documents, bill that became an act. And that goes in effect, obviously, on September 20th. Now, I did talk about Giga Project just now and introduced it to you guys and so on. And this is very, very, in my opinion, extremely bullish. And I have not, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, I have actually tried to find out if any other content creators have been talking about this, and I have not seen it. If they have, please let me know. I wanted to bring this to you guys because I haven't honestly seen this. If you're wondering about a U.S. connection, check this out. Top left corner. Department of Commerce, United States of America, and the International Trade Administration. Now it states, and we again introduced this to you just now, like a few minutes ago. The GIGA project is a nationwide project which involves other government agencies such as the Ministry of Economy, Trade, and Industry, which is called METI. Excuse me for a second. This thing's driving me crazy. So basically speaking, METI and the Ministry of Public Management, Home Affairs, Post, and Telecommunications. The Ministry of Economy, Trade, and Industry's role. Well, look at this for a second. Okay, we understand that this whole thing that's going on, like I mentioned before, with the UK setting down the framework, if you will, when it comes to trade, is a very, very big deal. But at the same time, if we can have the United States obviously working with Japan and vice versa, that's a big deal. Yesterday's show, we talked about Japan and the United States, and we confirmed with proof this time, because everybody, not everybody, but some people say that, oh, it's just all speculative. This Max guy is just speculative. Yeah, and then I confirm it later, right? We have confirmed yesterday that DFFT is no BS, and that basically speaking, that the United States literally took DFFT, right, and basically threw it into what is going to be our new framework, but called it something else. We gave you the proof yesterday, and if you didn't watch yesterday's show, that's fine. Literally showed in the outline just that. Now let's fast forward to today. METI is supporting the Giga School project by subsidizing Japanese businesses that join and offer services and content to schools and local governments. To fully implement the Giga project, METI is offering Japanese ed tech companies and consortia funding to implement or modify ed tech software such as LMS, study aids and advanced study programs, school business support systems, and communication tools such as the school backyard support system. Large companies, generally those with more than 300 employees, for instance, are required to partner with small and medium size enterprises. Okay, I want you guys to pay attention to this part too. Earlier, a few days ago, and this video got hardly any freaking views. Another perfect case of people just want to see a very flashy thumbnail. On the Ripple XRP coverage that we had, that recorded video, even if you don't own Ripple, you should watch that interview with that lady from Ripple, because she goes into detail about the significance of small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs. Now, you got to keep in mind, Jasmine is definitely, covers all this as well, not just small and medium-sized enterprises, but also the bigger scale ones. Again, just like Ripple, it's not just about central banks and cross-border payments and all that stuff, but also catering to small and medium-sized enterprises. Goes into a little bit more about this. Talks about SMEs that can choose to apply directly for funds or form partnerships to complete that basis for funding. But the bottom line is this right here. This implementation plan shows Japanese government's determination to address Japan's perceived slow pace of adapting EdTech and to surpass other countries that have aggressively pursued IT solutions in the classroom. Now, just a tad bit more in regards to this. So it mentions some key things that we showed you, I think, earlier. I don't know if I skipped this part, but it was in regards to like mobility. Hold on. Let me pull up the part about the phone. Yeah, here we go. And basically speaking, it's like these kids in these classrooms, right? They can identify so easily when it comes to the concepts of, let's face it, like chat rooms and all that stuff. This was actually on the earlier part of the outline. I found it. Let's jump back to this. Excuse me. So this part of this interview, and again, I'll jump to the end here in a second, with Sato and this person, Kiko Kimura. Kimura states that he has two, children and tablets and smartphones that have already been part of their daily lives, right? Sato goes on to mention that he says, for instance, the mainstream in regards to, like, let's face it, mass adoption, everybody out there, unless you've been living under a rock your whole life, has a cell phone, right? I mean, even the older generation has a cell phone. But look at this. It says, nowadays, information is stored in tablets and smartphones, making it difficult for parents to grasp it. The internet has many positive aspects, right? But the key thing is, does Jasmine have anything at all when it comes to, cell phones? And this has been brought up numerous times. I've seen people say, hey, this is real cool about the whole, Jasmine secure PC, especially via the laptops and so on. When will Jasmine break into like the cell phone market? You know what I mean? Like a 5G smartphone with a PDL inside the smartphone. Now, this is where I will also thank who? NeoXTricks. Check this out. And this will close things out for the Jasmine coverage here in a bit. And this is really, really good stuff. All right, let's share this tab instead. So on this, it goes to mention Jasmine releases LTE compatible Android single board computer ideal for IoT device development. You probably were never aware of that. Now, of course, this was back during the time of 4G, and this is all the way back when, during the time of 2017, we've, of course, come a long way, right? But I want to show you the actual news piece about this, and if anything, I'll drop this in the comments, and it's from me. It's not from the other guy. There it is. And basically speaking, were you aware? Probably not. And it's okay. That Jasmine, like I said, released this LTE compatible Android single board computer ideal. Again, I just read it again. IoT device development. It was back in May 1st of 2017, as reported. Excuse me. Back then, they announced that on the 1st, they will start providing samples of general purpose 4G LTE Android single board computers. They had original sample price for 30,000 yen, excluding tax. I don't know what the conversion was back then, so I can't even quote what that would be in American dollars. But the company, at least then, had plans to widely provide it to companies that are considering developing IoT devices or services and introducing them to the market. That's the bottom line. It gives us specs on exactly what it is. And I love this part too. According to the company, as in Jasmine, the functions required for IoT devices are packaged and the product is small, so it can be used for various devices and can be expected to shorten the development period and reduce cost. Gives you all the specs back then. I mean, nowadays, that's not that great specs. But the key thing is this that I want you guys to take away from this, all right? And that is, if they were able to do it then, they are basically able to do it now, and that is to create some of this technology. That should be one of your key takeaways. You know, it's like we talk about this whole concept of smart wallet. I have stated numerous times that I feel as though that at some point I'll be able to use, like, for instance, my cell phone and have that smart wallet and so on. But again, can you imagine, instead of just, one layer of IoT devices, as in a Jasmine secure blockchain PC, now we have phones. We gave the example of those watches, right? All sorts of IoT devices. That's the bottom line. Now, I did mention the whole thing in regards to XDC and all that stuff. I want to talk to you guys about this. I mentioned Medi, did I not? Now, were you aware that Medi, for instance, has jurisdiction over a broad policy area, and that contains basically Japan's industrial trade policies, listen to this, and energy security control of arms exports. It's referred to as Cool Japan. One of my first deep dives I ever did for Jasmine is Cool Japan. And just to give you proof, because as the saying goes in hip hop, snap back to reality, right? Well, here it is. All the way about 6 or 7 months ago, I did a deep dive. It was not that long of a deep dive, but it says Cool Japan, NFTs to DAOs, the Jasmine connection. So if you want to understand it without me re-explaining it again, check out that video. It's part of our research catalog. And all you have to do is go back about 6 months in the video section, or you can go to the far right on the search right here. I'll show you how to do that. And it has this little magnifying glass, and you just type in Cool Japan or Cool, and you will see that video highlighted. What's big about that is how all this is tied into the trade sector. And even with the United States, like you saw on that previous article that we showed you earlier, which is this one right here. Again, what does it show? That this is the official website of the International Trade Administration. And last but not least, how Japan welcomes the partnership of the United States companies with solutions to help Japan put the latest mobile devices in the hands of every Japanese student. So I gave you the outline, and I showed you where Jasmine was in 2017, the concept. Fast forward to where we're at now with the International Trade Administration. Understand where XDC is when it comes to especially the Electronics Trades Documents Act. That should be big when it goes into effect on September 20th. Understand where Jasmine is part of this whole mix, especially when it comes to data free flow with trust, and understand where we're positioned as the United States and also working with Japan. I think that was a great analogy of tying in, for instance, even the XDC side of things. But last but not least, Giga, a global and innovation gateway for everybody, right? And if anything, 2/3 of the PCs, right, on that budget. Again, understanding what Japan, or Jasmine, I should say, is connected to and so on. And if anything, recognizing XDC, how they are connected to the world trade worldwide, right? World trade worldwide, excuse me. how especially they're connected to what SBI Japan, and that's another thing. I know I'm not going to jump in back to that as well, but we did do a piece a few months ago that says Jasmine QNT XDC, and it specifically mentions SBI Japan, and especially when it comes to XDC. You got to keep in mind the plug, like I've always said before, is Genki Oda, because he represents 3 different sectors. BitPoint, right? To be able to blanket BitPoint, Bitcoin ATMs, if you will, these BTC machines blanketed all across Japan. Also, he's a chairman of SBI Japan. And then last but not least, part of JVCEA, formerly known as the FSA. And if this is your first time tuning in, basically that's the Japanese version of the SEC. So there you go, guys. I mean, you guys say I connect the dots. There's another example of just that. I hope you guys enjoyed this coverage of tonight for Jasmine. That was extremely interesting and glad to be able to bring it to you guys. Please smash that like if you haven't done so already. We are going to recognize who is in the comments and, if anything, see what kind of questions or concerns you guys have. We're at currently 46 likes with 44 people watching the show. All right. Appreciate you guys. Going to get further down into the comments. Going to double check the other screen, see how we're doing. And I think we're pretty good. All right. All right. So let's see here. Let's go further down. Crypto Smoothie says, "What up, ladies and gentlemen? As with you always." No, I'm just kidding. You too, Max. Yes. Thank you so much. Welcome back. And Crypto Winner says, "Congrats to BRICS for making the U.S. welfare line longer. Yes, BRIC is no longer using the dollar." All right. Let's see here. See what else you guys got in the comments. Let me adjust my mic real quick. You guys are having an interesting conversation. All right, 627, Believer 72 said of populating Mars, tell Elon Musk it would be much cheaper to populate Alaska. I'm a genius. We could all freeze our butts off in Alaska. Let's do it. Let's go. All right. The Grand Commission. Yeah, Katie didn't have the experience, but you guys talking about Kevin Durant. Yeah. All right, let's welcome back Cool Cat Crypto. Saw you this, I don't know, how many hours ago was that? I tuned into 2Bits stream late. Yeah, believe it or not, I think some of you guys saw it, right? We're going to try to do a co-stream at some point. It'll probably be on his platform because, why should he have to stay so late? So, I don't know, maybe we'll do if we're going to do that, it'll probably have to be on the weekend or something like that. All right. So we got an update from Raj in regards to all that was mentioned earlier. The way airdrop will work is V2 holders will receive tokens on BSC. A holder can bridge over to ETH side as they see fit. That will save on gas for each holder. Oh boy, I wonder how much that gas is going to cost though. Cost too much? I'm just going to be honest, Raj. I'm going to say to hell with it, man, because it's not worth that much for me. But that's not me fudding it. I'm just being real, my friend. All right. Crypto Winner, NYC is screwed. Total economic collapse if this continues in New York City. We're looking at 200,000 migrants in 6 months. And that's interesting. All right. Let me see if you guys got anything specific in regards to maybe what we were talking about. If not, that's okay. It's Friday. I'm glad you guys can choose to kick back, relax, and so on. We have more coverage for you guys. We have some quant, and it's really, really big this time around. I'm not just saying that just to say it. I got some real big, detailed from beginning to end, real hot, juicy stuff from Quant Papa with the Discord research this time. And I have a real solid outline, and it's not going to be speculative. You're literally going to hear it from the horse's mouths, if you will. You want to tune into that. I'm telling you flat out, you want to tune in or stay around for that segment here in a bit. All right. Raj says anyone holding V1 must migrate, by September 1st. I have V2, so All right, let's see here. Let's go further down. OG Crypto's back. Mr. Gangsta went to a public washroom at a store today. Cleaning lady was there. Stalls weren't done. Asked for cleaner. She said, yes, and stood there. And I said, can I have the cleaner? She said, yes, and stood there. What the heck? That's kind of weird. Is she AI or something? And like she just needs to recharge her batteries or something? Like, what the heck, man? All right, thank you for that, Raj. Again, welcome back to Raj. See, I'm not mean to meme token communities and so on. I'm not like, oh, you're from a meme token. To hell with you, man. No, not like that at all. All right. Let's see what else we got up in here. Tim Shea does win everything. I would agree with that. I will always agree with that. All right, let's welcome back Jack W. He says, let's get this party started. Hello to Jack. Crypto winner. Changed his avatar again. Bro, no one talk about EOS, but I don't see it going anywhere. All right, let's see here. Corey Bibe. Max, I heard Castbook could be the next Ethereum. My question is, can Stellar Sorbonne be the next Ethereum? As far as market cap goes, yeah. My thing is this. It's kind of like an insult to call any of it Ethereum. Like back when I used to do deep dive content creation, if some of you guys remember this, I used to say, what was on my thumbnails? Quant is Bitcoin with utility. Like, I mean, it sounds good, but in reality, it's kind of an insult, right? Anyway. Crypto winner. The Federal Reserve has just added HBAR enabled platform to their list of services. Oh. And this is good. I'm glad you recognize it. Yes, Stellar is the leader in off ramps. And, I don't understand how people don't understand that. Like, I got this guy, the same guy who came in yesterday. Like I said, the guy that was talking crap, right? I hate to even mention the whole concept of talking crap. When you say, hey, man, this guy's talking crap, for me, it's just like, it reminds me of like a middle school again. It's just like, that just sounds kind of childish in a way. No offense anyway. But anyway, yeah, he was like saying, oh, you're the guy who, even in the recorded, like he had to do it on the live, then he had to go in the recording. He's just like, it's in a free fall right now, XDC and so on. It's just like, okay, do you not realize we've been covering this since it was like under 2 cents, but whatever. But yes, Stellar is the leader in off ramps. What will that be worth in the future when we have full scale implementation and utility in motion? That's going to be absolutely big. When we talked about Genki Oda and, BitPoint with Japan and so on, it's like, think about it. Implementing what? The Bitcoin as the BTC ATMs all over Japan and so on. All right. Implementation. Then people go to use it because that's all they know. They don't know about, other blockchains or, distributed ledger technology. All they know is at the time, okay, Bitcoin. That's all they know. Bitcoin. I don't know anything else about crypto. I just know about Bitcoin. And they go there. They use it. Again, if you want to think about it, that's not just utility in motion. That's more like that's mass adoption. That's like, here is the only game in town, if you will. I'm going to go to these devices. I'm going to use them. What about when we get to the future, especially when it comes to Stellar? Stellar has more MoneyGram locations, right? More so than who? We showed it on a screenshot. More than Bitcoin. You guys don't think that's big in itself? I know you guys do, but I just shake my head when I see people like, oh, yeah, you're the guy who, said that Stellar was actually, this was a new one. Somebody saw, a video. I mean, this happens to everybody. Oh, look at Stellar. It's only worth this much right now. I'm like, really? It just tells me that people do not do their own research when it comes to the broader scheme of things. And especially when it comes to, like, do you not realize that we're not at the height of a utility run? Like, this is still, some people say, like, for instance, the bear market, or the end of crypto winter, or going, maybe it's just extended because, basically speaking, we're still in that accumulation phase, extended accumulation phase. The accumulation phase will not be forever. There is cycles for a reason. There's 4 cycles. The next cycle is the markup cycle. All right, let's welcome Core Marshall. Welcome. And let's see here. Speaking of Stellar, Crypto Winter says Stellar Lumens XLM is one of those projects. It was launched in the early days of blockchain industry, founded by a team of blockchain enthusiasts. True. Including Ripple XRP co-founder Jed McCaleb. All right. I'm also going to welcome Salamander, the XTC commander. Welcome back, Sal. Boom. Glad to have you back. And we'll bookmark that. Let's double check the other screens, how we're doing. Thank you to everybody who's here. And let's get into what we have next. We're at 51 likes. Please smash the like button if you haven't done so already. Do appreciate you guys. And let's jump into what we have. So I'm just going to free up some tabs here and get into the quant coverage. All right, just a second. All right, this will be good. This will be real good. So we're going to start this next segment now in regards to QNT. And if anything, once you get to the end, for me personally, it's not financial advice. But if I was a person who was just watching, I would think to myself, why am I not stacking more QNT? I get it, guys. It's a lot more expensive compared to other cryptocurrencies out there. You feel as though, where can my money go the furthest? Okay, I get that. For the now, right? In the now, right now, you want to accumulate a lot of tokens, a lot of coins, and so on, right? Depending on what project you're into. But the key thing is this, we talk about what we can accumulate. Well, how about accumulating one that's going to have extreme scarcity in the future? Yes, you better believe that quant, especially with 14 million, 14 some odd million, tokens, that will eventually get to the point, kind of like also with BTC, where people will what? They're going to have the goal of owning just one QNT, right? BTC, most people don't own a full BTC. They only own like a sliver or, a little fraction of a full BTC. I believe that's going to happen with quant. So for me, I look at the prices. We saw 97, about a week ago. It's fluctuating in the 100 range. I'm not complaining about that. I recognize it as an opportunity. I think some of you guys do as well. So here we go. Here is the QNT coverage we have. We're going to start off with a video. And again, thank you so much to Quant Papa. This actually comes from Vimeo this time. And we're going to start off with just the video first. It will speak for itself. I'm not going to elaborate. It'll speak for itself. Let's go ahead and full screen this. Please smash that like, and then we'll get into my take and my outline here in a bit. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being here with us. Here we go.
One of the things we did early on was to establish the ISO standard for blockchain. So that was 2015. I led that initiative while in government, in the Australian government at the time. And now there's 57 countries working together on standardizing blockchain as an ISO standard. Since then, there's been a lot of more initiatives in terms of technical interoperability, policy interoperability. I think the industry is working on it. There will be standards, and there already are standards that are being published. But in terms of CBDCs, what we're seeing is mostly going to be private permission chains rather than public, decentralized, permissionless blockchains. So having interoperability in the central bank digital currency context means the interbank network between the central bank and the commercial banks, and how they integrate with each other and how they interoperate with each other, and then linking that to the traditional rails.
All right, linking that back to the traditional rails. Try to remember what he said. Now, we're going to jump into what was reported from the BIS. I'm going to hop on the bandwagon, also called the BIS, instead of just Bank of International Settlements every single time, because just takes a lot longer, right? So let's share this with you. This is straight from bis.org, and it is in regards to Project Meridian. Now, we have covered quite a few different projects when it comes to quant in the past. Project Hamilton, obviously Project Icebreaker, most recently, Project Rosalind, right? Bank of England, Bank of International Settlements, and especially those two choosing quants over ledger. But this is Project Meridian. Why pay attention to something like this that was originally reported a few months ago? We're going to get into all that. It's very important. And if anything, your key takeaway after everything is said and done might give you a broader perspective on some things that you just didn't realize about. Or how about this? Some misinformation. Yeah, you know how misinformation works sometimes. So Project Meridian, innovating transactions with what? Synchronization. Getting into this, as you can see right here, all right, originally cited from Bank of England as well as the BIS. Project Meridian investigates how recent rapid advances in financial tech could deliver innovations in real-time gross settlement, RTGS systems operated by central banks. Now, if you guys have ever watched a proper demo, and I'll come back in the screen, sorry about that, a proper demo when it comes to quants over ledger, one of the key things is being able to quickly switch over to, for example, the XRPL and basically settle with XRP through RTGS with finality very, very quickly. That's a big, big thing, right? And other platforms as well, not just the XRPL. So getting more into this, it goes into this report, and it states that the Bank of International Settlements and the Bank of England, of course, have concluded Project Meridian. Some of you guys already know about this, but the first experiment to be carried out by the BIS Innovation Hub Linus Center. The project, if you're aware about it, experiments with the concept of synchronization. And again, try to remember that whole concept of synchronization. It's going to be part of the outline. It goes into mention these transactions settle using central bank money, reserves kept by commercial banks in the central bank in an RTGS system. Again, think about the platform that we're talking about here with quants over ledger. Funds are transferred from a buyer to a seller only if a corresponding asset on another ledger, for example, a real estate registry in the project's use case. Again, remember this part about real estate, because I'm going to show you some screenshots here in a second. But this could also be any ledger or registry for other types of assets, such as equities or bonds. Again, that example I gave you about the demo from Overledger. For instance, moves at the same time in the opposite direction, reducing transaction costs and risk, increasing the efficiency. Now this part, this is achieved via a new entity, the synchronization operator, which in the experiment uses distributed ledger technology, DLT, to interlink the central bank's settlement, RTGS system, with other financial market infrastructures and ledgers, automatically orchestrating the exchange in ownership of funds and assets in a resilient and secure way. What am I referring to here? Well, let's blow this up. So here is some of that synchronous settlement that they're talking about in regards to the central bank money. And you just literally heard in that video what Gilbert Verdian was explaining. That's why one thing I love about Quant Poppy, he just gets right to the point, chops it up, gives it to you right then and there from that Vimeo feed. New ways to settle, fast, automated, and trusted exchange of funds and assets at a lower cost in a safe way. Think about it, right? It's got to be immutable. It's got to be trusted. How these are achieved, digitizing the transaction. There's, the synchronization. Ledgers, and listen to this part, interlinked with the new synchronization operator. Who could that operator be? You guys aren't dumb, right? Think about it. It's not rocket science. Transparent transactions, information aligned across all actors involved in the transaction with what? Live status updates. Open standards. Gilbert's always talking about those standards, right? Literally created the standard for ISO TC 307. Inception was 2015, realized in 2016. Innovation, automating the payment opens up opportunities to enhance the entire transaction process. Going further down into this, a little bit more about that synchronization. Using central bank money eliminates such risks as counterparty failing to do what? Hand over ownership of an asset. settlement risk, for instance, or payment not being completed. It can also reduce complexity and liquidity costs by cutting the amount of time and assets needed to be reversed for a specific transaction. One example is the management of escrow accounts, which temporarily hold the buyer's funds in a neutral third-party account. All right, what about Meridian, real quick? Well, Project Meridian demonstrates the potential, like it's shared here, to improve the functioning of existing financial market infrastructures with new tech such as DLT. As central banks periodically update their settlement systems, the project's insights will support the analysis of securitization benefits and shape how that service should be designed. Now, jumping in a little bit more into what we have, check this out. And here is some key highlights from the one and only Quant Papa. And if anything, I will get back out of the frame on this one. And as you see right here, this is mentioned, and we'll show you the video. And this guy, right, you guys are already familiar with him. He states, I mean, Gilbert has really important, has been really important on this, in this. He's a sort of an important participant with Quant and providing inputs. Literally, it says Quant. All right, let me jump back into the frame. Getting a little bit more into this. So I'm going to share this. Here's the video, because I know like you guys love to have some of these videos. Who doesn't? Let's go ahead and play this. Here we go.
So experiments are hugely important to us. We've done a bunch already. So we've done two with the Bank for International Settlements. You have a London Centre project, Rosalind, and Project Meridian. Meridian was focused on housing, just recently been published. Rosalind should be coming out in the next couple of weeks. It's focused on central bank digital currency. I mean, Gilbert has been really important in this. He was a sort of an important participant with Quant providing input. We're also looking at offline payments with Thales and Sample Wallet with Kin & Carter. So these are really important to us. We've got a bunch of these experiments going on. But we've also run tech sprints and workshops alongside with some really important and really major participants actually helping us think about the use cases. So I think those BIS experiments have been hugely important, really valuable, and watch this space, the Rosalind report coming out shortly.
And but who basically is that guy, right? For the Bank of England. So here's the key thing, right? It's kind of funny how he mentions it, like, oh yeah, there's this Gilbert Verdering guy, and yeah, there's like Quant, and I mean, like, what a way to explain it, but nonetheless, I'm paying attention. All right, a little bit more of what we have in regards to this Q&T outline, because I'm not just going to end it right there. I want to show you this, and remember how I said pay attention to the part about real estate, right? Remember I said that earlier? Well, check this out. Let's go ahead and share this. And I think it's full screen on this one. That's okay. This part's really good. When was this reported? July 17th, not that long ago. Real estate tokenization where BRICS meets blockchain. I did a piece about that, right? Yeah, straight from the Quant Network site. How about this next one? Digital twins by the Quant editorial board. When was this reported? Well, literally on August 21st, a few days ago. So on this one, and I'll come back in the frame on this, I want to show you guys this because this is well worth sharing. And it does come officially from the Quant Network. I'll show you this. And when we get more into this, it has, of course, a few key things. Now, one thing I love about the Quant site is you can actually go to the very bottom for the newest news, and it will give you some of that newest news, right? So when I go here, what was that on that last date? Let me just verify it real quick. So it talks about digital twins by the Quant editorial board. Was tagged developers, digital twins, and enterprises. When I go here, let me see here. This was something that was taken off, and they do this every now and then. Here's the proof. Let me show you guys the proof. All right, so even I myself, right, when I came out with that big news, I'll keep it in the full screen here. Remember when I came out that news about Overledger going public, and I was basically forced to take it off until they're ready to properly release it. They reached out to a bunch of content creators, right? So here at the Quant Network, you go all the way to the bottom, and basically speaking, you click on the news section. This is the new page. You go here, and just to go back to what we showed you earlier, just as proof, look what's cited here. August 21st, digital twins. You go here, you don't see that anymore. Right. It was taken down. Will I get in trouble for this? I don't know. I mean, nobody reached out to me said I couldn't do this, but that's very interesting. They do this from time to time, right? I don't know if it's because of NDAs and so on. But again, I mean, it just mentioned digital twins, but the point is, if we would have clicked on that, it would have opened up like Pandora's box of all the information. But nonetheless, anyway, I wanted to bring that to you just to kind of pound it home in regards to that. Getting back to what I want to show you guys, just a second. Where the heck were we? Oh, I want to show that tab instead. Sorry about that. Here's the proof, if you will. All right. See, don't have that there. Been literally erased from the site. See, because otherwise it literally would have said August 21st. And again, going back, top left, you get where I'm coming from. All right. I'm going to share this with you guys. Come back into the frame. This is good stuff. The BIS, Project Meridian, simplifying transactions through innovation. Now, there's, of course, a lot of slides here. But again, also Bank of England's on here. He gets into all this stuff about Project Meridian. We could be here for like 2 hours, right? I don't want to do that. You don't want me to do that. Maybe some of you guys want me to do that. I don't want to do it tonight. Again, remember this part right here, and I think you guys do see it. Synchronization builds on the existing concept of interlinking what asset ledgers with who or what RTGS, as in real-time gross settlement systems, seeking to develop functionality that allows synchronized settlement, yes, settlement, just like Gilbert Verdine was talking about, and central bank money for a wide range of assets. Now, I'm going to jump into the highlights, and I love Quant Papa for doing this. Check this out right here. So, Project Meridian builds a technology prototype for synchronized settlement, experimenting with the complex process of buying a house as the first use case, sections 4.1 and 4.2. Remember the slide that we showed you earlier that was right from the Quant Network talking about real estate? Why would I just show that to you for nothing? The Meridian prototype will allow real-time gross settlement system operators to understand how they could offer synchronization functionality to settle a single transaction or a chain of housing transactions simultaneously. Don't you think that's bullish in itself? I think it is. Now, getting a little bit more into this. This is the extended deep dive, juicy stuff that Quant Papa does. And he's just laser focused. Like I always said, this guy's like a freaking AI when it comes to quant research. This is from Code Ute, if I'm pronouncing that right. One view across the what? The property transaction. You know, like, don't you love how we make that flow all together? It says, we enable real-time information sharing over a secure network. No new CRMs. Shout out to Mike Cornwell, because he's always talking about, hey, Max, have you seen the CRM? Well, no new CRMs or platforms, just additional functionality. Email less, engage more. Let's introduce this to you. Because if anything, it's big, especially if you're a QNT holder, because again, another utility layer that you were not, aware of when it comes to QNT. We did that brief little video about real estate before, but not to this degree. I think I did like a 2-minute version. This is more the deep dive version. But this is big because we're tying everything in together. Project Meridian, talking about Quant's Overledger, this new thing that you may not have even been aware of. Let's go ahead and play this. This is 2 minutes. Please smash that like. Again, thank you for being here tonight. Here we go.
We take for granted that technology has us all connected, helping us become more efficient in everything that we do. But when it comes to the property market, that's not the case. The process is cumbersome, fragmented, and stubbornly slow. Meet Cojute, the digital network transforming the property market. With Cojute, everyone involved in a property transaction can collaborate together seamlessly. Cojute enables you to connect to other property professionals on the network from your existing software. To work with others on the network, you just invite them. Once they accept, you are connected and can start working together in a secure, shared environment. Meaning property information, messages, and documents can all be seen and shared effortlessly. When using Cojute, data never needs to be manually re-entered, and progress updates are sent automatically. Questions can be asked over secure messaging, and inquiries can be made directly from your existing system. And because the data is updated in real time, everyone's on the same page instantly. You can even receive business referrals over the network from other connected users. Cojute's enterprise-grade blockchain technology is so secure, it doesn't just move data. It can enable the transfer of digital identity, digital assets, and even mortgage funds. Say goodbye to endless calls and emails, and say hello to Cojute. Not just a network, but a new way to work. The future of the property market is here at last. Join the network and experience it for yourself. Cojute, creating a better property market for everyone.
All right, just to give you a little bit more to pound it home, right? Because that's a thing that we do. Check this out. Share this. Here's from the appendix of what we showed earlier, right? From that brochure. Project participants and acknowledgements. I'll keep this one full screen just in case, some people are like, this is just all speculative. Oh, I'm tired of this, Max. It's all freaking speculative. All right, check this out. So you have here project participants and acknowledgements. Notice what it mentions here on the project sponsors first, right? Mentions everything from the BIS, Bank of England. All right, project team. John Reynolds from who? Cojute. I pronounced it wrong for the first time. Apologize. There you have it on that. Let's jump into the next part. Come back into the frame for a second. All right, this next one. Maybe I can make this a little bit bigger. Hold on a second. No, can't do it that way. That's all right. All right, so let's share this. And I will go full screen on this one because I can't magnify it. So on this one, it says the prototype. Remember how I said, remember the terms, guys. Remember the terms. Synchronization or synchronized, right? And again, this is referenced from what? Look at the bottom of the screen. From BIS.org, BIS Innovation Hub. The prototype for synchronized settlement uses a housing transaction as a first asset class. Experimenting with this complex transaction offers insights from synchronized settlement that apply to a range of asset classes. It develops, and here's the juicy of the juicy, and it's highlighted. It develops APIs. Who is literally like the king of APIs? Yeah, you better believe it. Quants Overledger, right? We showed you those charts many times over, God, how long have we been doing this now? Over a year? So it develops APIs that interlink a synchronization operator with what? An RTGS real-time gross settlement system and to a land registry. Both the real-time gross settlement system and the land registry would require additional development to support synchronization. Again, guys, who the heck do you think that would be? Okay. All right. There we go on that. Going to come back into the frame. Let me know what you think in regards to that. So for some of the people, and I'm sure I'm gonna get this at some point, that see the thumbnail, especially on crypto Twitter, they're gonna be like, "Well, you know, that's all speculative." Are you kidding me? Do you not see the videos? Do you not see, for instance, you know, it was reported from BIS, Bank of England, and so on. Even during the time that we did deep dive coverage, we talked about, for instance, all of this stuff. And then later on, the confirmations. You had, you know, Augustine of the BIS come out and say, yep, quants over ledger. The guy you saw earlier in the outline. Bank of England, yep, quant. Yeah, oh yeah, there's this, like, it's funny how you mentioned it. Oh yeah, there's this guy, Gilbert Verdian, you know, like, quant network. I mean, why are you kind of hesitating? You know, it kind of makes you wonder if it's like, I can't remember. Yeah, NDA. Oh, we're no longer on the NDA. We're cool now. We can mention it now. You know, it's just kind of like they're backtracking. Like, I got to remember. Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah, that guy. No longer speculative. That's the bottom line. All right. Glad to bring that to you guys. Been a while since we did some quants. We're trying to keep up with it, right? Anyway, let's get back into the comments. Let's see how we're doing. And let's see what we got. All right. Let me put some branding back on. Well, you don't need to do branding. Yeah, I need to do branding. All right. Let's see what we have in the comments. We have quite a few comments, like I think like 60 new comments. My God. All right. So we are currently at 7:41. This will not be a 2.5 hour show, 3 hour show. I'm just being honest. I'll read some more comments. Crypto Winner says, thanks, you meant Jed Michaela. This is a typo. For all your hard work you put into XLM, another great one, a great project to help BRICS stick it to the dollar. All right. Corey Bibe, Crypto Winner, I'm a huge fan of Stellar and Ripple. I feel Jed is responsible for both. I may get some flack for this, but Jed is the system. No, that's all right. I mean, you know, if it is what it is, why get flack for it? I mean, it's just telling it like it is, right? All right. See, even Crypto Winner recognizes what you're saying. I'll read this as well. Crypto Winner says, Stellar Lumens XLM is one of those projects. Excuse me. Hold on a second. I got to drink something. Too much talking, too much presenting. Sometimes you just got to read the comments, Max. You got to relax and take notes. Go smoke. Anyway, sorry. Got to get into it. Stellar Lumens is one of those projects that was launched in the early days of the blockchain industry, founded by a team of blockchain enthusiasts, including Ripple XRP co-founder Jed McCaleb. Yeah, very, very true. All right, Senior. Hey, man. Welcome back. All right. Max, do you know the cost of the Jasmine PC? No, I don't know the cost, actually. I think at some point we seen some of the Jasmine, Avita blockchain PCs. Maybe I could pull that up, actually. Hold on. Jasmine, Avita, blockchain, laptops. Laptop prices. Hold on. Let me see. Maybe I can pull it up. I'm not getting anything at the moment. Somewhere there was some listings about it. I mean, like there's one. Shoot, that might have been a while back though. Yeah, I think that there's one on Facebook. That's not it. I don't know. I don't have it available at the moment. I did see that a while back when it was shared. Yeah. I don't have that, my friend. I'm sorry. All right. Jed worked with the XLM team at the beginning stages as a part of the foundation of XLM. Okay. Sammy from Alabama. Go Jasmine, go Jasmine, go Jasmine, go. Like Ninja Turtles? Not nice. Like Secret of the Ooze? I get where you're going with that. All right. We're gonna read a few more comments. Brian Riley says, "Wonder what the big news Jasmine management is saying that's coming Tuesday." So I want to state this: I didn't make it as Jasmine ambassador, as you guys know. Well, now know. I was part of like the OG thing or whatever. I'm just like, I never applied to be the OG, but it is what it is. I'll take it. You know what I mean? But yeah, the ambassadors are selected. Obviously, all those guys are selected. Really deserve that. I'm being honest. If I don't get picked in the second round, this sounds so weird. Like, what is this? A freaking like NBA draft or something like that? And with the 35th pick, in the 2023 Jasmine ambassador draft, the people of New York select DPG Maximus in the 38th round with the 44th pick. I mean, what the hell, man? No, it's nothing that bad. But anyway, yeah, they have a second round apparently. I wasn't aware of that. So, some people tag me, 279 tag me, is like, these guys should probably get it. I was on that list, and if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I'm still gonna cover Jasmine. I'm not gonna be like one of those guys that's like butthurt about it, going around, walking around town. People don't even know who the hell I am. What's wrong with that guy? That guy's butthurt. No, I'm gonna go post on Facebook that I'm butthurt. No, I don't even. I hardly ever post on Facebook anyway. But anyway, where am I going with that? Sorry, but yeah, just giving you guys a heads up. They did select their ambassadors. Congratulations to Jesse of KRI Finance. He totally deserved it. I was thinking that he never applied for it. I heard somebody say that he didn't apply for it because he didn't want to be suppressed or something like that. So that was bad information, But yeah, he got picked. Brian, obviously, not Brian Riley. The other Brian with a Y. He got picked from I think was he from the UK? I can't remember. Maybe he's actually from here. I don't know. I could swear he's from the UK. Who else got picked? Level 8 obviously got picked because he's always reporting stuff from Japan. Jasmine US got picked. I don't know. Basically everybody who should got picked, but that's fine. So I am not the ambassador. I'm just I'm an OG. I'm like Mr. OG Crypto, Mr. Gangster. Anyway, I'm supposed to get some kind of like NFT or something like that. So I don't know if that's my payment. I don't even know what it is. I'm not even expecting any payment, to be honest. But yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Round 2. I've always been on the B team. I've never been on the A team. I should take that back. I didn't make varsity for football, but I didn't actually get to play because my dad pulled me out of this. I don't count that. But yeah, as a kid, even like in 6th grade basketball, there's an A team and a B team. It's like make the freaking B team, forget the B team, dang it. But anyway, fast forward to 2023. It looks like I'm going to make the B team again, but that's okay. You get what I'm saying. All right. I might not make the B team. You get what I'm saying. I might make it at all, and I'm okay with that. All right. Let's read a few more comments. We have... Let's see here. There will be hosting a Twitter space. That's true. August 29th at 12 p.m. JST. If you want to tune into it, that's pretty crazy hours. All right. Crypto winner, 36,169 Jasmine holders in total. You were way off on that, my friend. I don't mean no disrespect. I do not know where you're getting those numbers. It's more like 54,000. So I don't know who's giving those numbers. Those are inaccurate numbers. I believe it's either 54 or 56,000 total. So that's way off. You know me, man. I love you, crypto winner, but sometimes even myself, I could read some outlet and they might not be reporting it right. I don't know where you're getting that from. I don't know if it's CMC or getting it from CoinGecko, but yeah, it's a lot higher than that. I mean, hold on a second. I mean, I even saw a post from Rafael Santos. Shout out to our brother Rafael in the Philippines. Let me see. Quick. I mean, he even reported it not that long ago. When was this? Let me pull up old Raphael. I forget that Raphael spells it kind of funky on crypto Twitter. I think he even has this pinned, if I'm not mistaken. Where does he have it? Hold on. Where does old Raphael have this posted? That's beyond the point. Oh, here it is. He posted this on July 31st. All right, look at this. All right, shout out to Rafael Santos. Let's share this real quick. All right, I just want to show you proof of this. We'll blow this up. So this comes from Rafael Santos, unofficial sideline reporter for the night, Rafael Santos. All right, so as you can see here, top 100 holders, right? But the point is, hold on. Am I on the wrong page again? Hold on a second. Yeah, 50. There we go. I'm sorry. 54,000 holders. That was back in July. So we've totally increased since then. Maybe it is from CMC. I could always go to your comment. Hold on a second. Let me just double check real quick. Let me see what we got from CMC. Shoot. Hold on a second. All right. So this is CMC. Excuse me. Where is the extra info? So they might not have it. Yeah, they don't have it on CMC. I'll check where you have it. All right. My Jasmine, I'm down $1,000. It was like 4,400, and now it's like worth 3,436. Oh, I'm just scam. Jasmine scam. I'm gonna stop reporting on Jasmine scam because my portfolio dropped $1,000 in the last week. Jasmine scam. Yeah, please. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna read what Crypto Winner has here in a bit. All right. Max, they're talking about Medi's token. All right. Brian Riley, I'm not an ambassador. I believe they are talking to the ambassadors separately and then having the Twitter space for the community. Here's the thing. I might not ever get picked as an ambassador because I do realize I never attended a Twitter space. I take that back. I attended one. I forgot about that. I did attend one. I've been invited by Zippy and some other guys to speak, but it was like during times I was just like I just simply could not make it. Like there's no way I can make that, you know what I mean? So it is what it is. But I understand that they want people that probably are more interactive on the Twitter side of things. And if you look at it from that perspective, it kind of makes sense because I mean even Hara, when he does like AMAs and so on, he does Discord AMAs, he does the emergency AMA was through Twitter, hosted by what's her name, Moonlight or something like that. Moonlight, man, you guys talk about Eva, man, we should get that Moonlight on here. Never mind. There's nothing to see here. All right, let's go further down. Crypto Winner, Metis was created by Juan Su. Metis protocol is built on ETH. You're still talking about Metis DAO? We were talking about like late last year, or not late last year, like summer of 2022. All right. Let me go further down into the comments. We have, God, every time, I swear. All right. It was weird in Japan watching Monday Night Football on Tuesday. True, because of time difference. Rashad Williams, shalom. Thank you. Right back at you, man. All right. Yeah, let's welcome Rashad Williams. Magic Power says, hopefully this ambassador program from the Jasmine team will really bring something and bring the masses. Yes, typically Jasmine always doing something without telling the public what they actually want. Okay. All right. River, I'd rather have a Jasmine phone than give my dough to the fruit company. Fruit, what are you, Forrest Gump? That's a good way of looking at it, Life is like a box of personal data. You never know who you're going to give it to. Never mind. That don't sound right either. Messed that up. All right. Some phones, you only pay $5 a month. All right, how about this? 20,000 LCX or 200. Why do you guys do this? You guys always do this to me. You know? I'll let somebody else answer that. It depends. Like, you're gonna purchase it now? Is that what's going on? Hold on. Maybe you're thinking from a purchasing perspective. All right. Well, that kind of changes it up. And it also could mean that you're just, you already own both, and you're trying to DCA. Oh, okay. I'll give you the benefit of that on that one. LCX, the Liechtenstein exchange. Jawohl, Oberst. We see right here that the Liechtenstein. Let's get into it. Hold on a second. Let's share this real quick. The Liechtenstein is 0.04564 Oberst. All right. Where is Jasmine on this? Let's type in Jasmine. 0.003406. Basically, what I paid for on my last bag were around that, right? I think it was like a 3.2 or something like that. Basically, when my core was like, "Oh my God, Max!" Middle of the night. "Oh my God, go buy it all right now! Go buy it! Oh my God!" We're all not gonna get our Eagle Scout badge, and it's just like. And then he did some other recording, like I think last night. He was just like, "I am the Great Cornelio. I need TP for my bongo," and like it sounded so good. You should hear his recording. You know what? I might be able to pull it up. I know this is kind of off script, but it was so hilarious when he did this. He busted out a recording of this. All right. Hold on a second. I gotta find it. I think I still have it. Let me see this. It was him the other day doing this. Hold on a second. This was hilarious. Absolutely. It's just real quick. We can have some fun. It's Friday. If I wanted to go look up Beavis and Butthead, I'll look up Beavis and Butthead. Remember that one guy was saying that one time? Anyway, it's okay. No offense to that guy. I'm gonna find your recording, man. Oh yeah, it's 2 seconds. Hold on a second. Let me see. I found it. Can I download it? Hold on a second. Let me see. I can't download it. All right, hold on a second. Let me show this tab instead. Here we go. This is Elon Muff.
Are you threatening me?
You hear that? One more time.
Are you threatening me?
You gotta admit, that's a pretty good Beavis, man. Are you threatening me? I'm sorry. It's Friday. Can we have some fun on a Friday? All right, so 20,000 LCX or 200,000 Jasmine. Well, for one, 20,000 LCX. My God. All right. Let me see how much that would cost. All right, let's show this again. LCX. So 20,000 LCX. Let me pull that up. 0.04564. Hold on a second. And you want to get 20,000 of those. So that's going to cost you $912.80 before fees. All right. So what about Jasmine? All right. With Jasmine, I don't even have to add it up. This is easy. So for 100,000 Jasmine, that's going to cost you $340.06 plus fees, where fees there are. So you want 200,000 Jasmine, so you just basically multiply that by 2. So, man. I don't know, man. Both are pretty low. I'm going to have to go with Jasmine on this one because it's really close to what I paid for. On my last DCA, I did like 600,000, and I got over $1 million total. I'm gonna go with Jasmine because you're just slightly above what I paid for on my last DCA, which was 0.0032, and LCX could even go further down from here. So it took a while to give you your answer. There's your answer. Not financial advice, obviously, but thank you, Rashad. Okay. Magic Power, Jasmine. always behaves like me, like aliens from another world who have flown to planet Earth. I knew it. I knew there was something about you, man. You're gonna rip off that freaking teddy bear head, and this green machine of a an alien is gonna pop out or something. So anyway, 20,000 LCX and 100,000 Jasmine. Nah, remember. I mean, here's the thing, right? If he has 20,000 LCX, that tells us that he can do over $900. 100,000 Jasmine. I mean, we just saw already that was like what, $340. So technically speaking, he could do at least 200. Could he do 300 or 300,000? No, right? But he could do at least 200,000. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Jasmine on that one. How many tokens does Jasmine have? LCX has 950 million. All right, so to give you a heads up, let me pull this up again. Jasmine, let me see. I know not on the screen open right now, but just a second. Jasmine has a total supply of 50 billion Jasmine on both the total and max supply. We are at 97.80% in circulation. Okay, which is 48.9 billion. This is why so many people keep posting all the time about when there's an increase to the circulating supply, like getting, where we're at 100%. Because you got to keep in mind, if all of it's in circulation, and then on top of that, we have, the lockup, the start of the lockup, and it's not going to be all locked up at once. I mean, I think we can all agree on that. And then it's just like some big things like Boomer Effin Sooner, Mr. Boomer Effin Sooner, probably fell asleep on his couch. He pointed out a few things based off of market cap. I'm glad some of you guys understand market cap and tokenomics and all that stuff. So he pointed out some things a few days ago. I think it was like 2 or 3 days ago. I saw your tweet, and that was about like, we get these targets for the lockup and so on. I mean, would technically put Jasmine at like at least a penny based off of current market conditions. Can you imagine at the height of the next bull market what it would be worth? I mean, this is where a flutter doesn't understand that. Again, they just look at the chart. They go, it's 99% down, and then they're like, Jasmine scam. That's why I always joke around about that, because that's all the research they have. They just reference it. If you reference the same thing, can you imagine if I came on the live show every single time and only talked about I don't know, man, like one partnership or something, but Jasmine just gave the same news every single time? Like, you guys would be like, what is wrong with this guy? That's the way I look at flutters, because they always show the same screenshots every time. They show the chart, 99% down. What was it the other night? I was joking around and I said something like, oh, actually, it wasn't the other night. It was earlier. It was on 2-Bit's show. He was showing Tonic. Yeah, I remember this now. He was showing Tectonic, and it was like 90% down. And I said, you should show that chart to the Jasmine flutters. That way they could be like, Tonic scum, because that's just the way they look at it. All right. At the end of the day, I mean, who cares what the darn flutters think? They're going to flood it for whatever reason. And some of you guys, other guys, like, Mike Cornwell's point out, flutters may just flood it for their own personal benefit. They're encouraging fear in the market for their own reason. Like, maybe they just want to short Jasmine, or they want to short everything. They want you to give into that fear. You better believe that's going on, and not just with Jasmine. They can apply that to a whole bunch of other projects. I mean, we talked about Tonic. You can apply that to Tonic. All right. Magic Power. Hopefully this ambassador program from the Jasmine team will really bring something to the mass. I think I already read that. Sorry about that. Might have been because they didn't have something highlighted. All right. Dwayne Marshall, welcome back. XPR new ISO token, any info? That was the one you guys keep talking about. Man, I have to get into research more of that. Corey Bebe, I think somebody else kept talking about that. So that keeps popping up. I might have to finally just research it, but no rush on that. You got to keep in mind, when I give you guys the chopped up deep dive stuff, it's usually because I take it from the live show and, so on. It's been a while since I just sat down and, hey guys, there's this new deep dive about blah, 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 Okay. Elon Musk, number of tokens don't matter. Market cap, percentage in circulation, and a market cap divisor matter, and burn rates by percentage, not number. Does Jasmine have a max supply? All right, we already talked about that. I feel like I'm reading comments again, maybe because I didn't have it highlighted. It's just kind of flow in here again. Bobby, if you had to guess, what will Jasmine's top be this next bull run? I mean, man, you know, the team from Jasmine said 2026, their goals is $17. I mean, like I pointed out before, I mean, you know, at minimum, I feel like it's going to be $1, but you know, it would be something if we didn't just hit $1. We hit way above that. I think we obviously could hit way above that. Do I know if it's going to be $17? Of course, I don't know that. I'm not a fortune teller, but I'll state this much. All right, so BTC at $100,000, I think we'll be well above $1 on Jasmine. As far as $17 KPIs, I mean, it's kind of interesting. I think, you know, Mr. Dingy, shout out to him. I didn't see him here tonight, but he's going to watch the replay because of his data plan. He's got a crappy data plan. No, nothing against him. But he mentioned, you know, don't you find out to be quite the coincidence, Max? Their KPI targets and like their goals for like how many personal data lockers they're looking to get out there being used is literally like the population of Japan. I mean, it could be a coincidence. We also know that Jasmine's so much more than just Japan. You know, there's other regions, obviously, what they're doing here in the United States. That one's kind of hard, man, you know, because my thing is this, you know, like I was mentioning earlier, Jasmine could be the one that really starts doing big things before all the rest of them, just because where they're stationed at in Japan and, you know, how accepting they are of distributed ledger technologies, blockchain innovation. You know, you're saying top, so I mean, I guess I would stick it with I would go with the Jasmine team on that one. I think I'm gonna go with that. Yeah, I mean, I think the top would be $17 at the very, very, very top. You know, some people that have sell orders, I guess maybe some people do 17. People think that's absolutely nuts, but you know, like I always mentioned before, a lot of people thought BTC to $100 was nuts. Look how that turned out. And then to 1,000, then 10,000, 69,000. You get where I'm going with that. All right, Wayne size in the house. XRP, XLM, or XDC. All right, you know what? That's for the community to answer. I'm done with these questions right now. But welcome, Wayne side. Let's see here. What is this? Talking also about the project you have, Alien Foreign. Gas is only a few cents on BSC. Yeah, that is true. But I'm also looking at it from the perspective of, like, my V2 is not even worth that much right now, man. I mean, like, I put in the last time around, right? So I was one of the lucky few when it came to Shinja. I got into it on day 2. I took my profits, I think it was like a couple thousand up, reinvested back into it, put $1,000 into it, and then, you know, bought into a lot of the hopium, no offense. And basically speaking, I was just like, well, you know, Shinja seems to be really good. And I was like, I'll just keep holding and holding and holding. And boy, I got wrecked on that. Then I went to V2. I literally watched my V1 go from like $120 down to like not much at all, migrated to V2. Looked at it. Last I checked it, it was worth like $9 or less. So I know you said it's only a few cents on BSC. I get that. But as far as me making a big investment, I just don't know, man. I mean, I have to look at the tokenomics on me. Is it even going to be worth it to me? I just, maybe that's not what you want to hear, man. And I don't mean there's no disrespect to your project, but it's just, I don't know. I don't even know if $9. I know for some people are like, well, this is your hard-earned money, man. You got to justify it. I'm getting worn out with the whole thing. Getting worn out with the Saitamas of the world and so on, like migrating stuff. Like, I'll give you guys a heads up. You want to know which one I'm chasing down right now from meme tokens? The OMI is Robo Inu. All right. On my coin or on my CMC portfolio, it says my Robo Inu that I bought back in January 2022 for $100 is worth like $30. And I'm like, that's a little bit more encouraging compared to other, meme tokens like what was formerly known as Shinja and some other ones, especially Saitama and so on. But yeah, it says in my portfolio it's worth like $33. So I'm like, okay, cool. Then I go to Bitmart and I see on Bitmart it's worth 13 cents. And I'm like, what the hell? One thing I liked about Bitmart, I'm not a big fan of Bitmart, but as most of you guys know, with Bitmart, they do automatic V2 migration. Nowhere, anywhere do I find out any information whatsoever about Robo Inu doing a V2. Nowhere. Zilch. I don't know if it's a case where Bitmart just hasn't got around to, migrating my tokens to V2. But when I go and do a basic search, even on crypto Twitter and so on, and there's no information about a V2, and in my portfolio it says 13 cents, that's very, very like, what the heck? I'm also to the point where it's just like, am I really going to bother with $9 and go through all the trouble? I know it sounds like, well, why wouldn't you? But that's me because I'm worn out with it. I'm completely worn out with the process of this stuff. And I hope that you guys end up having you said, this is community driven and so on. I remember a long time ago when it came to Cliff Fettner and so on. I know you guys are not with him no more. I understand that. But I saw some of the warnings, right? And one of the warnings was another project that he was involved in. And he just it's like, what happened to that project? It's just like, those guys lost out. And then there was all the hype of Shinja. And don't get me wrong, made money at one point, but then ended up reinvesting into it and lost my what on. This is why I'm just not big on meme tokens, period. I like I said, the only ones I'll stick to is the Cokes and the Pepsis, which is Doge and Shiba Inu. I'm not into Volt anymore. I have no disrespect to the Volt community. Nothing but love, respect for obviously Space Chick and a few other people. I know some of you guys like Cash Cats, you're invested into Volt. They have a very good community. I wish nothing but to the moon with that song. Just the thing after the V2, I was not convinced that, hey, I want to give it a third try. That's just me, But we'll see what happens, man. And you're always welcome here. I don't want you to think you're not, and maybe consider me like flooding this. I'm not really, I always try to research stuff and so on. So I'll see what happens when it's the time to do so. Luis Alvarez says, yo, welcome back, Luis. Yeah, we haven't seen you in a while, man. Glad to have you back. All right. Wayne side, let me double check the time real quick because I have to get going pretty soon. Is the rumor true that all ETFs, are suspended until 2024? I don't know about that. I have to look more into that. I'm not going to BS yet. If I don't know, I don't know. That's something I got to catch up on. So apologize for that. Magic Power says Jasmine is a young project, just 2 years old, and hasn't seen a real bull run yet. That's true. All right, let's read this from Brian Ryan. Max should live stream the Twitter space on his show Monday night. Possibly. I don't know. Usually speaking, we try to have shows Monday through Friday. There's a possibility that there might not be a show on Monday. I'm just going to be real with you guys on that. I mean, we'll be back on Tuesday, but I'm just saying I have to, make sure on a few things in that regard. All right. Let's see here. I think we read some of that earlier. All right. Let's see if you guys got anything specific. I think I read some of this stuff. Yeah, no problem. Rashad Williams, do you honestly think we're going lower? And yes, I know your crystal ball is not with you at the moment. I'll tell you this much. Let's see if there's a report, because sometimes they publish it on a Friday. And if there is, this will be the final bit of coverage we have for you. Otherwise, we give you the weekend update, obviously, when I come back with you. So it's like the previous week summary. I give you the report to see how we're doing. And we've been right on it. And like I literally, share with you guys, hey, guys, here's this outlet that I use, the premium service. Pump the brakes on some of the stuff when it comes to your accumulation, because I said back in July that when we entered, August, we're going to have a major pullback, and we did have just that. So like I rely on the source because it's a great source. Yeah, let me see real quick. That's a good question. I think Legrand Commission also asked me about this. Like, he said something like, Max, do you see 30K coming or you see 20K coming? I was like, let me look more into it. Give me a chance by the weekend, and then I'll give you guys what I think about this. What did I say? I think I said by Monday. Hold on a second. I got to shrink this down because it's all blown up. All right, let me log into this real quick. I know you guys don't see the screen, but I need to put my information. Sometimes they come up with an update and they'll do it like on a Friday night. So maybe they did. That'd be kind of cool. If not, then we're gonna wait till tomorrow. Yeah, it's not out yet. So it'll probably be out tomorrow. They always do a weekly update, but sometimes they do it on a Friday instead of a Saturday. I don't see nothing in regards to that. Last update was on the 19th, and that's okay. So anyway, your question: do you honestly think we're going lower? And yes, I know. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're going to be, for the time being, lower. I mean, obviously, we got some reports from the Fed and so on. So I'm going to lean towards that. But as far as the big update, we're going to give it to you on Monday. Hopefully we'll be here with Monday. We'll try to do a few things like what Brian Riley mentioned. So there's a possibility I might not be here with you guys on Monday, just being real. I'll be back on Tuesday. Either way, try to prepare to be here on Monday, right? I will too. So yeah, the whole Jasmine thing. But yes, on that report, we'll give you what's going on. We'll give you like what's going on with the charts, what's going on with all these reports, CPI, you name it, the whole, inflation, all that stuff, right? These are all key factors that we all pay attention to. Some people say, well, what does that have to do with crypto? It has a lot to do with it, right? Because it's been consistent, and especially when you recognize what's going on with the, these boom cycles and so on, So there's been delay on that. I feel as though the accumulation phase, some people are glad about this, right? It's been extended. So Rashad, just real quick before we, start wrapping things up, because I need to do that here really, really soon. Basically, it's like this, okay? Hopefully you have a portfolio manager. I've always said this before, and I'll keep saying it. Hopefully you have some kind of portfolio manager. If you don't, get a free one from CMC. Create a login, email, all that stuff, and then immediately just start going through, like, for instance, you can do the top 100, top 200, maybe do up to 500, whatever you're comfortable with. And then after you're logged in, you start starring and you add certain ones to your favorites, and then, see what the all-time highs were, see what the all-time lows were, and then just, pay attention to the, like, hey, you know what? Wow, look at this. This is an all-time low right now. There's quite a few of those that are going on. But my point is, if you DCA'd, right, like you asked me, LCX or the other one, I don't know if you hold both of those. I don't know if that's a question where you're like, I just need to know how much to throw at this because this is my DCA. I want to spend some money. And I get that. That's a common question. But whatever the case be, don't go all in is what I'm saying. All right. I would never tell any of you guys going all in on anything. Do I go all in on certain things? You better believe I do. Right. But that's me. For me to tell you, that would be financial advice. I know you say, well, it's not at the moment. But if I tell you something and somebody else sees that I said, well, he told this guy, and I'm listening to him, that actually is financial advice. It's never financial advice. I got to protect myself. My thing is, yes, I do go all in on certain things. I recognize if it's ever been all-time lows. Now, if it goes even lower than that, like the saying goes, we're all trying to catch the bomb, then it goes lower than that. You don't beat yourself up over the DCA. You recognize, hey, I'm cool with this. Here's why I'm cool with this. Because I put, for instance, I'm just going to throw out a number, right? I'm not saying you're going to do this. Like $1,000 into such and such. And then you say to yourself, look at the prices of such and such asset or where it was 3 months ago, a year ago, whatever the case be. And then you're comfortable with that. You say to yourself, look, Yes, this could go lower than where we're at now, but buy yours as of right now. This is literally the bottom. And then you walk away from that and you be satisfied with that. And if it tanks more, it tanks more. And I know there's situations where people like, have told me, but oh my God, man, I decided this was the bottom and I threw $2,000 at it and then I end up losing $1,000. And it's just like, again, guys, do whatever you feel is comfortable, but don't go, bat crazy with it where you're going to wreck yourself. If you're the type of guy and you're in a higher income bracket, you make a six-figure income. Most of us don't. Some of us do. And you're comfortable with that, you got to do what you got to do. But again, everybody will tell you this. I should say everybody will tell you this, but the good content creators will tell you only put what you can afford to lose is the bottom line. If you feel as though like, no, I got the feeling, I'm going to go with my gut, then at the end of the day, you got to go with your gut. But that's the way I look at it on all this stuff. That's what I do. Rarely will I go all in on something unless it's like, it's a combination of like, this really is the bottom. And if I have some, crazy buddy of mine was like calls me up in the middle of the night, oh my God, Max, oh my God, now's the time to buy, like freaking Mike Cornwell, oh my God, Jasmine is at 0.032. This is time. That was the time to buy. That was the bottom at the time. Boom. I was like, all right, gonna go all on this. Threw like a couple grand at freaking Jasmine at that point. Am I telling you guys to do that? No, I'm not telling you to do anything. It's never financial advice. It's just education, news, and so on. I know you guys don't like hearing that from me because maybe you feel as though like, well, you've done well in the past. Hey, man, I'm still learning too. But that's just the way I look at it. So maybe that helps you. Maybe it doesn't. But I tried, my friend. Okay? All right. All right. I'm just going to see if you guys got any other specific things, and then I'm really going to get going. All right. Let's see here. Corey Bibe, Professor Max with the Apple. Thank you so much. Actually, it wasn't quite an Apple, but I've had some students give me some pretty cool things in the past anyway. I have a couple students. You want to know their names? I'll tell you. Jose Fernandez. I hope he's doing really well. And another kid, her name is Layla. Sweetest kid ever. Last day of school, I gave her a stack of our Hawks bucks. It's like the currency we use for the school or whatever. And all the other teachers are like, you're only supposed to give a couple of these. I was like, the heck with these other teachers. I'm going to give this darn kid a freaking stack. And I gave her the whole darn stack. I got criticism about it. Then I told the teacher, I was like, look, let me ask you something. These other kids, are they coming before class and cleaning up your class? No. Are they staying after school and clean up your class? No. Do they stay part of lunch hour and clean up your class? No. Exactly. This kid does this every single time. And I don't even have to ask her. She just does it voluntarily. And then like she take all her Chromebooks and neatly put them away. She'll clean up the tables, like literally spray cleaner on them. Like just, yeah, I don't need to get okay on anything and make sure I'm in school compliance, blah, blah, blah. Please. And you know what happened later? Got back to the principal. He commended me on it. Taking action about it. I was like, yeah, darn right. And she ended up getting a freaking award for her behavior. I was just like, yeah, I don't need to get permission from other people to do the right thing. I just do the right thing and recognize a darn kid that deserves to be rewarded. Boom. But I do miss some of my students, and I hope they're doing really well. Anyway. Let's see here. Let's go down. Let's go down. Quant provides blockchain interoperability solutions to LACchain, a pan-regional blockchain initiative to Latin America. All right. I obviously have been way behind because now I'm just getting to the quant coverage part. My God. Maximus, you're my favorite Jasmine content influencer. Well, thanks, man. I did see that before you on the record. I think you posted that. All right. Alien Form Raj, have a good night. You too. Welcome back, though. LEET, seriously, if it isn't ISO 222, than it's an ish coin to a degree. All right. I think Polygon, again, hear me out on this. LEET, and welcome, by the way. And I'm going to wrap it up here. I have to. Let me see how I'm doing on time. Yeah, I literally have 4 minutes. All right. So, again, guys, do this when you get a chance. Or I'm going to do it for you real quick because it is called DYO or Max. Well, no, it's not. It's TGIF. All right. Well, whatever. Let me show you something. Quantum Financial System, QFS, CMC. All right, here we go. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about here. This is good. Here is the top 20 from the Quantum Financial System. Now, of course, you're going to see a bunch of ISO 222 here. That's a given. What's one that's listed here that's not ISO 222, guys? Polygon, but it's part of the Quantum Financial System. You know what I'm saying? Some of these don't have to be ISO 222. I think Polygon is obviously going to do really well in the next bull market. Is it going to do as well as some of these others in a real true utility run? I think the answer obviously is no, but there's still a lot of opportunity there, right? So my thing is this, okay, and I've been consistent on this. I only got like 2 minutes left. I want to just let this resonate in your head for a second. When I state that there is cryptos that you marry, at least I am, not you, right? That I will marry, I marry my XRPs. Why? Because at some point I realize it's going to be worth a hell of a lot of money. Same with Stellar, same with Quant, right? And my attitude is I could earn a nice yield on that, right? A nice APR, passive income, right? But the polygons, I will take a dramatic amount of profit, right? My H bar, for instance. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's in my top 5 still. That's number 5, literally. And if anything, I do take some profits on that, right? I don't dump all of it. And there's some other ones, right? So anyway, where I'm going with this is this, all right? Polygon is not ISO 222, okay? Look what's also on this list. Cello. The point is, these are part of the Quantum Financial System. You guys don't like WorldCoin. That was one that was recently added to here. I'm not a proponent of WorldCoin. Energy Web tokens on here. There's other ones that are obviously on here that are ISO 222. I think DAG is ISO 222. LCX, I mean, you guys throw it in the ISO category, but is it technically ISO 222? I would say the answer is no. I know you guys have said, Quorum is ISO 222. I never heard of Mobius, but my point is, these are the top 20 of this list. I mean, obviously they didn't need to take Alliance Block, ALBT off and just put Nexera. I think, yeah, there it is, Nexera. But the point is this, guys. Polygon is not ISO 222, but it is part of what? The top 20 of the Quantum Financial System. If you've done your research about the Quantum Financial System, it's going to be big. And if anything, the concepts of, like my best friend, Mike Wool, was talking about like the Quantum Financial System and all this crazy stuff like over 20 years ago, and the World Economic Forum and all this crazy stuff. I was like, man, you sound like you're kind of out in left field, my friend. Well, is he in left field now? All right. Going to read like 2 more comments. I think, I don't know. Let me see. Is it before 8:28? So I got 2 minutes. All right. Oh, crap. Go look at Quant Max. You're making it run. No, I'm not. There's no way I can make it run. All right. Let's see here. I know you guys got good comments. Can't read everything. I want to welcome T. Lens. Welcome back. Victor Fontaine. Just want one stock or crypto that doesn't go down right after I buy it. We all? I hear you on that. All right. Oh, you did a copy and paste on that one. Oh, okay. All right, guys. Again, if I skipped over your comment, it was on purpose. I really got to get going. I appreciate you guys. We'll be back here on Monday. Hopefully, if not, it'll be Tuesday for sure. I'm leaning towards Monday. If I can do the whole thing of streaming the Jasmine Twitter space or whatever, Actually, you know what? We won't be able to stream the Twitter space because of the StreamYard delay. That was a problem we had in the past. We wanted to do a simulcast. I don't think we'll be able to do that. All right. So just going to throw that out there. But nonetheless, we'll have either on Monday or Tuesday the weekend report, the crucial weekend report. So again, find which ones you have on, in your portfolio that you have on sale. I realize some of you guys just got paid. That used to be my thing. I get paid on a Friday every other week. But whatever the case be, if you're so hungry, you're like, I got to do it now. Well, recognize which ones are on sale. Recognize which ones are literally at the bottom of the bottom. And don't beat yourself up if it ends up going a little bit further down from there, and say to yourself, all right, well, that wasn't bad. And especially if you DCA multiple times. Like I was telling Brian Riley earlier, I think I got 1 minute left. No, I don't. I'm out of time. But just real quick, and that is, like Jasmine, it DCA'd into 4 or 5 times. The first DCA was 0.006, and that was October 2022. But consistently, on the next bag, it's 0.005, then 0.004, then 0.0032, right? If it goes down further from here, you say to yourself, hey, I understand the concept of DCA. That's the bottom line. Remember that. And of course, remember some of the other coverage, and we'll bring you more videos over the weekend. It's been a great show. I love our community. I really, really mean that. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys. We're all going to get to where we need to be, get to the promised land together. Finish the race. Don't give in to the fear of FUD. Believe in the research. You've done the research. Don't let anybody talk you out of your hopes and dreams. Think about it. Sometimes there's jealous people in this world for whatever reason. Know what you have. Know why you hold it. The research trumps FUD 110%. Adios. Have a great night.